Item Number SCP-7903. Index Cold Air. Object Class Unknown. Special Containment Procedures. The Site-135 sensory room remains locked and out of bounds. Any personnel who experience events similar to those of SCP-7903 must immediately report them to Site Security. Any suggestion of an active event will result in immediate site lockdown. Staff are strongly advised to remain awake on site at all times. Image. Archive photograph of Laboratory C2 prior to conversion. Description. SCP-7903 refers to an incident that occurred across the night of 19/12/19 and early morning of 20/12/19, involving Dr. Marcus Sorensen in the Site-135 sensory room. These events are poorly understood. As such, a transcript of security footage has been attached in lieu of a full description. Note: room designed as a cool-down space for personnel who were neurodivergent, ill, or suffering from exhaustion. For budgetary reasons, it was converted from a disused chemistry laboratory. Forward. Dr. Sorensen had spent several consecutive late-night shifts working on the SCP breeding program. Due to this and prolonged exposure having deleterious effects on the nervous system, he requested, and was granted, 90 minutes recovery time. Begin log. At 11:03, Dr. Sorensen enters the room. He moves briefly out of shot, presumably to switch on a small lamp, before shutting the door and making his way to the bed lined up against the far wall. By 11:14, he appears to be asleep, lying on his back. Nothing further of note occurs for approximately 90 minutes. At 00:47, an entity crawls into view. Due to the low light and low quality single-camera footage, little can be definitively ascertained about it. It is believed to be vaguely humanoid, approximately 1.7 meters long and pitch black, with 2 eyes, no arms, and a jawless mouth. The entity wriggles towards Dr. Sorensen, before rearing up and staring at him. At 00:52, the entity hauls itself atop Dr. Sorensen so that its face is barely a few centimeters from his. Over the next 11 minutes, its breathing gradually adjusts until their every inhalation and exhalation is in exact unison. At 01:01, the entity locks lips with him. Immediately, its breathing shifts again. Now, every breath Dr. Sorensen gives out, the entity takes in, and vice versa. They remain in perfect synchronization for 23 minutes. At 01:24, the entity shudders, followed quickly by Dr. Sorensen. At 01:25, researcher Farnsworth enters the room, holding a mug. Upon seeing the entity, he screams and drops his mug, which shatters loudly on the ground. Note: when questioned later, he claimed to have been sent to look for Dr. Sorensen after his unusually long absence. The disturbance appears to jolt Dr. Sorensen awake. He begins struggling to remove the squirming entity, his eyes wide. It presses its face deeper into his. Dr. Sorensen appears to bite down hard. The entity writhes, seemingly trying to free itself. He only bites down harder. Finally, the entity tears itself away, skittering behind a bench. It does not appear again during the footage. Researcher Farnsworth, still frantically cowering away, is beckoned over by the flailing, spluttering doctor, who points wordlessly to his own open mouth. Farnsworth looks inside and gasps, before gingerly inserting his hand. After some struggle, he eventually withdraws a fleshy protuberance, which he immediately throws across the room. Dr. Sorensen rolls off the bed and lands heavily on the floor, retching violently. With only a moment's hesitation, Farnsworth pulls the still conversing doctor to his feet. Pulling an arm over his shoulders, he supports him out of the room. The door clicks shut behind them. End log. Closing statement. despite being immediately dispatched, the door to the sensory room remaining closed and there being no other exits. The only trace of the entity discovered by security was the protuberance left behind. All attempts to locate the entity described have failed. No other personnel have reported similar experiences, although approximately 46% of Site-135 staff have suffered from insomnia before and since, including Dr. Sorensen. The protuberance has since been analyzed. It is about 18 centimeters long at the cut and possesses 6 stiff appendages, structured to allow ease of grasping. Its exact function is unknown. Genetic testing was carried out and revealed likely human origin. The DNA results were, with 99% certainty, a match for Dr. Marcus Sorensen.